All right. Anything new going on with your dad?
Nope.
Nah, chilling, Dylan.
Chilling Dylan. Chilling Dylan.
Out
But if
that.
my nephew Vincent is watching this broadcast, this is what I do.
Shout out, Mr. Vincent. Pull
Okay.
up. You better comment if you watching too.
No shit.
That's for sure. We don't like ghost subscribers, so go and show us some love.
Yes,
Anyways,
sir.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
hey, hello everybody. Agree to disagree back on your airways, television, cell phones, tablets, so forth and so on. I'm one of your hosts, Trey, joined by my father, my co-host. Go ahead, Dad.
Give me my theme music, people. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right.
Welcome to the show, guys. Glad y'all can make it today. We got a packed one for y'all as usual, because man, has the NBA offseason been quite a turn. All right,
Crazy.
Yeah, man.
Crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
crazy.
for a lot of for no what's what I'm looking for? For no big name free agents that were out outside of maybe JJJ, this has been quite exciting. So we're gonna start with, of course, the NBA offseason winner with our opinion on that. We're gonna shift over to Damian Lillard and his future in the league, and then slide over to Dallas, Texas, where we have to talk about their new state flag. So, you ready, Dad?
I'm ready. Let's
All
get
right.
it.
Starting in the
Oh,
NBA, this offseason has started with a bang before the season even came to an end, with Houston making a trade for Kevin Durant, spread all the way down to Portland, waiving DeAndre Ayton and him turning around and signing with the center-hungry Lakers. And with Dallas, Milwaukee, Atlanta, and Denver all seemingly swinging for the fences this year, who was the biggest winner of the offseason so far? Go ahead, Dad.
Denver.
Interesting.
Denver.
Change your answer.
Denver by far.
Okay. All right. Here, let me double down and ask you this question. I asked you this before, after day, I think 1, and you said Houston. What switched it?
Oh, they got Valanciunas, the backup Joker. They brought back Bruce Brown, who helped them win a championship.
Very true.
And under the table signing Tim
Say it.
Hardaway
Say it. Yes.
Jr.
There it is. There it
Tim
is.
Hardaway Jr. I
Very
didn't even
good.
hear about that one. I saw it on I'm like, are you serious?
Very
So,
good pickup.
and then of course they traded Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson, which to me is a unilateral move. So
I didn't
yeah,
love it at first, but I'm starting to come around on it.
it makes sense now,
Yeah,
right?
it makes sense.
It
It
makes
makes
sense.
sense for
It
sure.
makes sense.
I like it.
So,
Money
yeah,
wise, age wise, ability wise, fit wise. Yeah, it makes sense.
it makes sense. But yeah, I by far Denver was the winner in free in off season moves.
What are your, not to tie you to any predictions just yet, but realistic expectations for Denver off of this? You think they're going to win the championship?
I think they'll go to the Western Conference Final. I'll tell you who didn't make any moves this year, who pretty much just like that's a wrap for them. Golden
Got it.
State.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Golden
They still
State
got
did
some, no, they still got some stuff in the balance.
like what?
So look,
Kaminga?
Kaminga sign and trade for Malik Monk to come off the bench instead of Kaminga? Yeah.
They haven't done it yet.
Say again?
They haven't done it yet, have they? I haven't heard that.
No, but I just seen a report from it yesterday. That's in the works. So
That's
yeah,
still
yeah.
a little. That's still a little guy. They need a big guy.
Al Horford is the next one.
Now I will give them a puncher's chance with Al Horford and Malik Monk coming off the bench.
That would be amazing.
That would get, honestly, because of the way Al Horford plays right now. He's almost like a 3-and-D guy,
Right.
and he can guard the perimeter very well.
Right.
I would push them ahead of the Lakers.
No doubt. I think they're already
Yeah,
ahead.
I would push them ahead of the Lakers if they can pull those two moves off. Without those two moves on, they're not even a play-in team.
Without those two moves?
Yeah, they're not a playoff. They're not a play-in team.
No
Look,
way.
New Orleans got better this year.
How?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Zion's gonna be healthy.
You're going
this year.
out on quite.
I'm going. It's my limb. It's my limb. I could do what I want with my limb. Okay. Zion's going to be healthy this year. They got Queen in the draft. They got Delonte Murray coming back. And they traded for
Pull.
Who?
They traded for Jordan Poole and picked up
Jordan
Kevon
Poole.
Looney.
Thank you. So, and hey, they almost made the playoffs last year.
But it all hinges on Zion.
Zion. That's what I said.
It's all Zion.
Yeah.
Do you want to? I know you said it's
Clippers got better this year.
so you can do what you want to with your limb, but that's a hell of a limb to go out
It's a
on.
hell of a limb. Yeah. Clippers got better this year when they added Brook Lopez.
Good pickup.
Yeah, brought back Harden on a
Team friendly
deal. Yeah,
for sure.
Minnesota, which I think Minnesota took a step back.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they got better. Honestly,
yeah, I think they took a step back when they lost Alexander Walker.
They're the same team minus
they're the same
Alexander
team,
Walker.
right? Minus Alexander Walker, right? So same, and of course Houston. Houston got real good, real fast.
Houston did good. So yours would be Denver.
I would put Denver number 2.
Okay, so who's your number 1?
Houston.
Okay, so you back to the Houston train.
Yeah, I would say Houston's number 1.
Back to the Houston train. You like their moves?
Yeah. I'll tell you another team that really came out of nowhere, did pretty good for themselves, Atlanta.
I know. And now we're going to transition to me, my friend. There's my winner.
Atlanta.
I got the shirt on just for that boy. That boy Dyson Daniels right there.
Yeah,
and I'm
Dyson Daniels.
I'm a hometown Hawks fan, but I'm not a Hawks fan. But I'm reside out of Atlanta for most of my life, so I feel like I got to root for them because they're the home team.
Alexander Walker.
And if KP stays hell, it honestly all hinges on that. Okay, so I don't want to like stamp that they are the winner, but if KP stays healthy, they're the winner of the offseason. 100%. You go out and you get KP and Nickeil Alexander Walker. 2 things that you need. You got perimeter defenders with Dyson Daniels, Nickeil Alexander Walker, Rochechet, and now you got a big man to back up all of Trae Young's defensive mistakes in KP because he's a good rim protector. Maybe not a good defender, but he's a good rim protector, no doubt.
I would say that.
And now you got a bench.
I would have said that until Milwaukee traded until Milwaukee got Turner.
Actually, I kind of want to focus on we'll talk about the Dame part a little later. I want to focus on the Turner part. Good or bad?
Excellent.
Excellent?
Excellent. Absolutely.
How you figure?
Look who they. I mean, look at how they. I mean, Brook Lopez goes to the Clippers.
It was time for him to go, no doubt.
It was time for him to go. They're pretty much the same player, Brook Lopez and Turner, except Turner plays.
Except Turner's younger,
and he's a better defender
for sure.
Way better defender.
They both get about 6 rebounds a game.
They both get about 6 rebounds a game, but he blocks more shots than Brook Lopez, and he's more mobile.
True.
And he's a better 3-point shooter than Brook Lopez. So,
okay, all right,
the trade-off.
Okay,
and they re-signed all their free agents.
They did.
Yeah, Gary Trent Jr., Kevin Porter Jr. Now that's where they're a little slow at. Yeah, Sean Prince, but that's where they kind of slow at is in the backcourt because they don't have a point guard.
Nah, how you feel about Russ going there?
How you feel about Drew Holiday going back?
That is, I would say, hilarious.
It would be, right?
It would be comedy.
Yeah. But not
honestly, I don't hate it. You know what I mean?
Not out of the question.
Yeah, no, I don't hate it. I think that would actually do them quite well because that's the missing piece. You go and you get a Drew Holiday, and then you go and find a backup point guard for him. You say him pretty.
But then, I mean, I like Milwaukee and what they did. I tell you what they did. They kicked the Pacers out of the conversation.
That is fair. Honestly, Tyrese Halliburton's injury kind of did that.
Well, yeah, but now they don't
want to go into they don't want to go into the luxury tax. I was like, they was offering him. Let's see. I saw Indiana gave him essentially, what was it, 4 for 1,
97 or 80 something. It was like 15.
Yeah, it was like $20 million. It was like $15 million difference or something like that, which is kind of wild. You know, I get why they didn't want to go into the tax considering the upcoming season that they have. But damn, man, Miles Turner has literally
10 years
been there forever.
10 years.
You know what I mean? And has literally survived just about every trade rumor that he can survive. You know, only for y'all to not offer him.
Kick him to the curb. To kick him to the curb.
Kick him to the curb. That's
what they did. They kicked him to the curb.
I know Melo said that there's no loyalty in sports, but
he was talking He was talking about Dame. He wasn't
I
talking about
know, but
Miles Turner.
it fits.
Yeah. Well, you know
It
what?
fits.
It's a business.
It is.
End of the day, it's a business. And did Indiana overachieve this year? Absolutely.
100%.
Nobody had them going to the championship. Now,
100%.
are you going to pay for that overachievement next year? Hell
No.
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 No. No.
No.
They ain't,
Absolutely
they
not.
ain't selling out arenas, man.
Nah, I'll say not with Tyrese. If Tyrese Halliburton doesn't get hurt, I bet they do re-sign him. But with Tyrese Halliburton hurt and out for the year, this is essentially what I said my Celtics should do. Blow it up. There's no
They
need to go
punted.
into the
They
tax.
punted. They
Yeah, there's no
punted.
need to go into the
They
tax for
punted
the
the year.
year.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
absolutely no need to go into the tax for the year if you're Milwaukee, if you're Indiana,
Yeah.
because you don't want to, I don't want to say quit, you know what I mean? Because everybody competes, but you're kind of aware of where you're at on the season.
Yeah.
So,
And you're a small market. You can't afford that kind of money.
exactly. So take the year off. It
Regroup.
sucks to see. I get it. No, there is no loyalty in sports, but like you said, this is business, bro.
This is business, man.
This is business. Take the feelings out of it.
And I mean, piggybacking on what Melo said, dude, if Luka Doncic can get traded, anybody can get traded. Let's just call it what it is.
100%.
Let's just call it what it is, man.
But I would give it to Atlanta. I'm super excited to go to some Atlanta Hawks games.
Yeah, they're gonna be nice.
At that, we gonna be locked and loaded
nice.
those for sure. I can't wait to go. I think they are very primed to make some moves this year. At least Eastern Conference Finals. Think about it. The only people they got to go through is
it depends on the bracket. They got to go through the Knicks.
It's them, the Knicks, Milwaukee, Detroit,
Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Shout out Lonzo. Cleveland. Jesus, Cleveland. You know how I feel about Cleveland, and I was right. I was right from the jump. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Detroit got better. Damn,
Detroit got better. Shout out Luke Kennard.
Yeah, Detroit.
Great pickup.
A 3-point shooter. Yeah,
it's a very good move from the Malik Beasley thing they got going on.
So who's a loser?
Who's a loser? If I had to give a loser to somebody off the top of my head, Memphis.
I was thinking the same thing.
Probably Memphis. You lose Desmond Bane.
Yeah.
Now they paid y'all for him. Don't get me wrong. You got a good haul for Desmond Bane, but you lost Desmond Bane. You didn't replace him, and I'm not too sure on that JJJ contract. They're so happy he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year.
That was a dumb move.
I get why they did it, but
I'd have traded his ass.
I'm not too sold.
I'd have traded his ass in a heartbeat. He is not marquee. He is not the superstar.
He's kind of like Miles Turner. He's gonna get you 6 rebounds a game. He's gonna block a couple shots.
Yeah,
and he's gonna hit a 3. You know what I mean?
Like, I go with what Colin says. Colin Hurd on the Hurd show. Don't pay A money for B superstars.
No, not at all.
And that's what they did. You pay
not
A
at all
for a B superstar.
Which is why Indiana doesn't go into the tax. We can say what we want to about the no loyalty, but that's great business. That's good business.
If I'm Memphis, what I would have did in a loaded West with an opportunity to do one of two things, you're either gonna be in a play-in game or you're gonna be out of the playoffs.
For sure.
I'd have cleaned house.
Blow it up.
I'd have blew that like the road running and kaboom.
Nah, for sure. I'd have sold Ja to the highest bidder in the East.
Everybody would have been gone.
Yeah, you can sell Ja to the highest bidder in the East, no doubt, because somebody would have took him.
Somebody would have took him, and I would have did just what OKC did. That would have been my blueprint to start my
Nah, for sure.
Yeah.
You got to think about it if you're Memphis. And we move on in a minute, but you got to think about it if you're Memphis. What are your realistic expectations? Are you better than the Lakers?
That's what I mean.
I don't know. Are you better than the Warriors? I don't know. Are you better than OKC? Hell no.
Better
than Houston?
Nope.
I don't think so. Are you better
Lakers?
Than Minnesota?
Clippers? Nope.
I don't think so. You better than
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think so. So,
and not just that. So the reason why you blow it up is because the West is the West now, but the West is getting old.
True.
Okay, the West is getting old. OKC played it right. They sat back in the shadows for so long until the West got
And
older.
just wait till everybody got
And
old.
just waited until it was our
And
turn.
wait till it was their turn. Yep.
Yeah. And they won a
No,
championship.
that's true. That's very, very true.
So all these small market teams, that should be your blueprint. Just chill.
Just chill. Nah,
Just
for
chill.
sure. Find somebody who can compete with the cream of the crop. And not saying Ja's not good. He's just hurt all the damn time.
All the time. He's Allen Iverson
Yeah,
without a jump shot.
Allen Iverson didn't have a jump shot either.
No.
Yeah, so
He's Allen Iverson.
that's pretty accurate. So
Yeah.
Memphis would be my loser, just based on the lack of moves. I like the Aldama contract, 17 million a year for your third or fourth best player. Currently isn't that bad, and which makes it movable. So if he has a killer season, you can trade him to a contender. You know what I mean? So I do like that pickup, but overall, nah, you can't lose Bane. Sign JJJ to the contract and have no plan.
And no plan.
Yeah, and have no
No
plan.
plan. So nah. And my thing is this: if you're only playing for the play-in, don't play.
Agreed.
Don't play.
Agreed.
Okay. Then with the Warriors, if you're only playing for a play-in, don't play. And unless you make a move, like you said, if they can get Malik Monk to come off their bench and be a scorer, fine. I'll move him up. If they can get Al Horford, which I don't know what's taking so long,
Facts.
okay, I agree. I would give you now, unless they're trying to get Kessler from Utah, I don't know.
I would love that.
But
But Kessler's going to cost some first round picks.
Right. Right, because Utah doesn't want any players, especially
exactly.
Especially
Kuminga.
Right. You have to get a third team involved, and you have to find somebody to take Kuminga, which, let's be honest, they ain't no market for Kuminga.
Yeah. Otherwise, he'd been gone by now.
He'd been gone by now, right? He has no market, right? He has no market. So they are in a very, excuse my language, fucked up position because they're getting older.
True.
Right. And they're the same small team. Everybody got bigger this
year. They got
even
2 years left, max.
But again, they're still playing for the play-in.
They got to make. I think I would have to agree with you that I would. Yeah. No, I'm not going to agree with you. I love Steph.
So do I.
Some moves are not.
He's not the problem.
But they played well after they got Jimmy. So what's a season, an off season, and a full season with Jimmy to look like? I think it would look pretty well. I don't think they'd be a play-in. I think they'd be OKC.
Houston, Lakers, Clippers,
Denver, Houston,
Minnesota.
I don't know about Minnesota.
Minnesota's going to make the playoff.
They'll make it. I just mean like,
won't be a play-in.
I'm trying to think of teams who are better than Golden State. I'm of the mindset Golden State would have beat Minnesota with Steph Curry. So I don't know if they're better.
They don't have anybody to guard Rudy.
They didn't need anybody to guard Rudy. Rudy guards himself.
Julius Randle.
Rudy.
They don't have anybody.
So what they won game one.
They don't have
won game one going away. Steph got hurt after 13 minutes. They didn't have anybody to guard him. They didn't have anybody to guard him. You talking about Rudy Gobert? Who the fuck? Excuse my language. Fuck is
and not to mention
Gobert?
Golden State's not athletic.
They don't need to be. They're smart.
You do need to be athletic in an athletic league.
They beat the young Houston. You said the same thing about Houston. They beat them.
Houston beat themselves, man. But I'm not taking anything
away about young athleticism. They're just smarter than them.
I'm not taking anything away from Golden State. Don't get me wrong. Steph's my dog. Love him to death. But honestly, dude, it's time to get off of Golden State.
Not yet.
It's time. And dude,
not
if they don't get a big, man, it's time to say hasta la vista, baby.
Y'all people keep saying that, then they turn around and won a championship, then they turn around and beat Houston when everybody says they didn't, or Sacramento when everybody says they couldn't.
That's what they need to go after, some bonus.
I wouldn't mind that.
That's what they need to go
after.
You
get Sabonis, and then you can bring
if you could get a package together for Malik Monk and Sabonis and pay that luxury tax bill.
Yeah, bring in on a vet minimum, come off the bench.
Man, you don't need them.
Just to come off the bench, you still need a backup.
You get them on. You get on a mid-level exception. Yeah,
you still need it because your backup bigs are Quentin Post and
they would be
Draymond Green.
That would make them a monster.
Yeah, I would love some bonus.
Yeah, that would make them
very, very well. But moving on, staying in the NBA, moving on to Milwaukee, who made Jaws hit the Or by waiving Damian Lillard and signing Miles Turner from the Pacers for a cool 107. Milwaukee will use their waive and stretch method by stretching out the remaining of Dame's contract for the next 5 years. And with that being said, Dame is still gaining a bunch of interest from some heavy contenders, but he will have a year off due to this Achilles injury. So I'll ask, what is the best course of action for Damian Lillard this year? To sign with a contender or to sit out a season and sign next year?
Okay. I've put this together.
Yes, I've done some thinking on this too. Go ahead.
I think you're gonna like what I have to say.
I'm listening.
Okay. I would sign with the Celtics.
Long nigga. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I would sign with the Celtics. Him and Jason Tatum got the same injury.
Sure.
And here's the good part about it. You don't really got to pay him.
Nope.
No.
Because Milwaukee's paying him.
Yeah. Because Milwaukee's paying him.
Yep.
Paying him $22 million a year for the next 5 years.
Yep.
You could put him on the mid-level exception right now.
Right now.
Right. Or vet minimum right now.
Yep.
So he can rehab his injury. When he comes back, bump him up to MLE. Milwaukee's still paying his salary.
And him and Jason Tatum essentially just come back at the same time.
Dude, the Celtics would be a beast if they got Dame.
And you got them on a cheap cut. No, for sure.
And they like to shoot threes.
And they like to shoot the three.
Shit. And they would still have Jaylen Brown. Jason
and they'll
Tatum,
still have Joe Mazzulla because
Joe
he gets a
Mazzulla.
free year this year.
Eric White.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No.
I would already be calling.
I've seen some reports.
Yeah, I'll be on the phone with him.
I've seen some reports, and when I seen that report, my heart about stopped. You know I love Dame.
Yeah, we'll pay for you. We'll pay the surgery and all of that stuff that needs to be involved. And we'll take
For sure. Pull up. We already got to do it for one.
For him, for Jason, anyway. So
exactly. We already got to do it for one.
Together, right?
So y'all might as well just go rehab.
I tell you who else might make a run for him is Miami. Miami has got to be. It's time for Pat Riley to go.
It's time for Pat to go.
It's time for Pat to go because they are the boringest fucking franchise. They just lost Duncan Robinson.
Great pickup by
Detroit. He went to Detroit.
Great pickup by Detroit.
Sign and trade.
For sure. Phenomenal pickup.
Damn. I mean, they lost Luke Kennard, right? Because he's with Detroit.
He went to Atlanta too.
He went to Atlanta, yeah. So on the same saying, they pivoted to Duncan Robinson on a sign and trade with Miami. Miami's pretty much thrown in the flag. I don't know who they looking for, who they think they're going to get, who they saving their money for, but there's nobody out there. They have been in active free agency for the last 2 years.
I think they're trying to save their money for Giannis and putting all their eggs in that basket.
Won't be this year.
It won't be this year.
Going away this year.
No? It honestly won't be anytime soon. I don't think
so.
Soon.
Hey, if they go deep in the playoffs with the roster that guy, he's loyal. He'll stay.
If Giannis was going to leave, he'd have left by now.
He'd have left by now. He'd have left before they got Turner.
Before they got Turner, he'd have left before they got Dame.
Yeah, he's not.
He wouldn't have made the trade for Dame. He would have just left.
So Miami, like I said, it's time for Pat Riley to say bye-bye. Let's bring some fresh blood in it. Y'all are super irrelevant. Super irrelevant.
In Miami, of all places.
Of all places, yeah. Of all places. So I don't see Dame going down there. I don't see him going to Golden State because him and Steph are the same player.
Right. I saw that report. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. No. Lakers, everybody's attached to the Lakers. No.
Everybody,
I don't see him playing with Luka. Luka's a ball hog.
True.
Yeah.
Although it'd just be him and Kyrie again.
I don't see Dame as that guy, that flashy dude. I think he wants to be now there were reports that he could be a sixth man on a team. A sharpshooter coming off the bench like that dude would be lethal.
Well, playing against 6 men? Yeah.
Yeah, he would be the star of the show. But again, Lakers, now, and the Lakers is going to have a lot of it all depends on what he does. Does he sign this year or does he sit out this year and wait for next year?
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love my Celtics, as much as I love you saying the Celtics, I'm going to look at it on the angle of sitting out a year. For Dame, yeah. Let's weigh the positives. You sit out a year. There were reports coming out that I don't know how true they are, of course, but there were reports coming out that Dame wanted to rehab close to his family in Portland, to his kids, and Milwaukee didn't necessarily want him to do that. They wanted him to rehab in Milwaukee and stay close to the team.
What difference does it make?
I don't know personally. I really don't know. Hell, let the man go be with his kids if that's what it is.
Rehab is rehab, right?
Exactly. So if that's the case, and teams are going to give you some pushback on rehabbing back in Portland, take the season off. It's
Take
not like you're going to play. You know what I mean? It's not like you're necessarily missing on that front. So take the season off, go spend some time with your family, get yourself as right mentally as possible and physically as possible. And then next year,
But look, what, when you really look at it, they are paying $28 million. I'm over close to $50 million for that
for
move.
Miles Turner.
For that move, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you want to oversimplify, they're paying $50 million for Miles Turner.
Miles Turner, yeah. Because you waived Dame at 22 and you paying him what, like
27,
26,
20,
26,
yeah, 26.
26. Yeah. That's $48 million.
That's a $50 million player.
That's what that is.
Shout out
For
Miles Turner moving all them damn Legos. What you thought about that? Got like a whole bunch of Legos in his house. Move every single one of them shits.
Well, you don't really got to move them. I mean, shit, Indiana to Milwaukee is really not that far. You
Is it
could
not?
No, it's not that far.
All right, they could just put in a U-Haul then.
Yeah,
They'd be fine.
yeah. But ooh, man. When you look at those ramifications, then you got to pay the luxury tax. Shit, you second apron. Shit.
As you know, to stick just to pivot a little bit from the Dame conversation. Okay, you know how we was talking about eventually LeBron's going to retire, and does he get a farewell tour? And I was like, sure, he deserves one, but at the same time, what made Kobe so special is that he only played for one team. What made Dirk so special is that he only played for one team. What I love about Milwaukee is they're trying.
To keep him.
They're trying to keep him. We can say all we want to about there's no loyalty in sports, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Milwaukee's trying. They are, and we can talk the shit. They can kick they're kicking the can inevitably down the road, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But isn't this what we want from our stars and our teams?
I don't think they're going to be able to afford to keep him.
Probably not.
When he becomes,
but I applaud them for trying.
When he becomes extension eligible, he's going to command $70 million a year.
You think he would? You don't think he'd take a hometown discount? No? You don't think so?
No.
I think it's on the table.
Only one person ever did that. Shout out Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
nobody does that. No.
I think it's on the table.
I don't think so. I think he's going to take
probably not. 5% chance it happens.
Basketball players are ego driven. Let's keep it a buck. Everybody's seen Shea get that big ass money. They're gonna want that same money.
The fuck they want to be better with $70 million a year.
Well, hey, you know what? That's the NBA's fault for agreeing to that stupid ass collective.
Stupid ass CBA. But I get why they did it. It's funny though, because it only made the problem worse.
It made the problem worse. Yeah.
It only made the problem worse.
Yeah. Especially for the small market teams.
Facts.
Yeah. You made that shit worse. And let's be real. Okay, you wanted competition in the or parity in the championships, and you got it. Seven champions in 7 years.
That's the second apron's fault, though. That's not
you damn right.
That's not the Supermax. Yeah. That's the second apron doing that.
Yeah, nobody wants to pay it.
Nobody wants to pay it.
Yeah. And what is it? And what has it caused? Ownerships to sell.
Because they don't ownerships to sell and parity all over.
Parity all over. So
Indiana almost won the final. They had a chance to win the finals.
They did. It was close. Game 7.
Game 7. And there's a lot of people who say if Tyrese Halliburton doesn't get hurt,
they had a chance. They wouldn't have won. They had a chance, right?
They were up at halftime.
Without him.
So, man, I do like the parity that we are in. And I do want to give Milwaukee a shout out for exhausting all options.
They had no choice.
I like it though. You know what I mean? They have not thrown in the towel.
Desperation move, man.
I don't hate it. Yes,
I don't either. I'm not saying it's a bad move. It was just
I just don't hate it.
But let me ask you this question.
What you got?
Do they do that if Jason Tatum didn't get hurt? Everybody's making big moves in the East because Tatum got hurt, and the Celtics may or may not be the best team in the league next year.
Well, I mean, you can
Lonzo Ball to Cleveland. Lonzo Ball to Cleveland. The Knicks got Jordan Clarkson.
Great pickup.
Atlanta with all their moves. Cleveland, like I said. Who got Ty Jerome? Memphis got Ty Jerome. Yeah. But like I said, everybody went in all in because the Celtics may or may not be relevant next year.
Very
Do
true.
you do the same thing if the Celtics are relevant? So I ask you this: you're the owner of the Milwaukee Bucks, right? You and Giannis having a meeting together, right?
Mhm.
He sits down across the table from him, and you pitch this to him. Hey, you know what? We're in a great position to win a championship next year because the Celtics are not going to be relevant. Just
I
give me a
bet
year.
you know
You
what I
know that
bet
was
they
part
do
of the
do.
conversation.
You know what I bet they do if Jason Tatum doesn't get hurt for real, because the breaking down of the Celtics was inevitably going to happen
It was going to
this
happen
year.
because of money, right? Because of
Yeah,
money.
because of money. So that was going to
Yeah.
happen this year regardless. So honestly, you probably could talk him into waiting it out a year because that won't be the same team.
But even still, what they broke down with is Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday, was probably to me, if they could have found a way to keep him, fine. Kristaps Porzingis was a luxury.
No doubt.
He was a luxury,
We
right?
won the championship without him.
Without him, right? He was a luxury. So losing him with JT not getting hurt still gives you a really good chance of winning the East. Correct? You would agree with that?
I would agree with. Well, you think they would have kept Drew?
If they let's say that was the option. Get rid. Let's say JT didn't get hurt.
Mhm.
Okay,
And they
he's
keep
fine.
Drew?
And you keep Drew. You get rid of Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh yeah, nah, for
They
sure.
still
As
got
long
right.
as you
They
find
still
somebody to
get
replace
champions.
KP with,
Yeah.
just
Well, I'm
as
like,
far as size
they
and
went without
rebounding.
him. Yeah,
Just
they
as far
went
as
without him.
size and rebound. I don't mean like product. I
You
don't
bring
mean
back
you don't
Al.
need
You
the
bring back
scoring.
Al Horford. You bring back Al Horford on the vet minimal.
Out Horford, 38, man. Love
Yeah.
him, but he's getting old.
Everybody. Shit, Steph's 37. LeBron's 41.
LeBron is 40 fucking one. I think it turns 41 this year in December. Oh my God.
So what's your point? And yes, this is last year with the Lakers,
I
and
wish it last year
it
was,
won't
honestly.
be his choice.
Yeah. He'll think it is, though.
He'll think it is, but if they were going to keep him, they would have negotiated an extension with him.
Well, he just did a 1-1 again.
And here's another thing. No, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't do anything. He just signed
That's
it.
what I mean. Yeah, he just picked up the
Yeah.
option.
And you notice, like Wimby said, the Lakers ain't said anything about it. They didn't say, "Hey, we're lucky, we're glad that LeBron signed his block." There's no press
Nope.
release at all. Nothing. Nothing.
Oh, yeah, no,
There's
that's
right. There's some
valid.
shit going on there.
That's valid.
There's some
That is
shit going
definitely
on
valid.
there.
They did. Don't forget, they sold this year.
They did new
Oh
ownership.
yeah, it's new ownership. It's
Yeah,
not
but Jeannie
mom and
Bush is
pop
still
no
there.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jeannie Bush is there.
she's
She
just
could
the
have,
face.
but she could have sent out a press release.
She could have, but she's just a face. What's her press release
Magic
mean?
Johnson could have said something. He didn't say shit.
What's Magic Johnson gonna do?
He's still Laker royalty.
But he's just a face. That's no different if Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came out and said nothing. It doesn't mean anything unless Rob Pelinka says something
Which he didn't,
or ownership says something.
which they didn't.
Genie just
So,
a face now.
like I said, this is the last ride for the king. Giddy up.
I just thought about that. Ownership probably got a lot to do with that.
They did. They did.
Definitely. But
We're not. We don't even want to negotiate. If he signs the extension, he signs the
he
extension.
signs the extension. Yeah, if he
Yeah,
picks up the
but
option, he picks up the option.
right. We're
But
not. We're not doing a 1-and-1. We're not extending them. This is it.
no, that's totally fair. That's totally
Now to
fair.
be
But
now to be so now he pivots to it because I believe, and I hate to keep talking about LeBron. He's a narcissist.
can't help it.
Yeah, he's a narcissist because he goes, yeah, Savannah keeps asking me when I'm going to retire. Bro, you can retire whenever you want to. You still going to have the same impact on your retirement as you do whenever you retire. It's going to be the same impact. It's going to be the same tour. It's going to be the same whatever you want to do. Statue outside of the Lakers thing. Statue outside of Cleveland. Maybe statue outside of Miami. You're probably going to be the only person that has 3 damn statues.
3 damn statues for sure.
Okay. So what are you
well
still
deserved too?
Right. Let's cut the nonsense about you want to play for championships. Okay. If you wanted to play for championships, like Skip Bayless said, you wouldn't have signed that contract. You don't need the money.
I think it's both.
What?
Okay. I don't think at this age you play for fun. You know what I mean? But
No,
at the same time, I kind of agree. I don't know if it's the forefront anymore. I think he's kind of like KD. He kind of just hooping.
They just want to hoop.
Yeah, kind of just hooping.
Just wanna
Like
do
he
it.
still
That's it.
can
Right.
at this age. And when you retire, that for the most part, that's usually it. So you probably just out there hooping. But at this age, you're not you would never go on a bad team. I'll say it like that. So
And let's look at this from another level, another point. He's not the focus of the Lakers anymore.
nah, it's Luka now.
Yeah, it's Luka.
Yeah, ever since that trade was made, it was Luka's team. To be fair, because he's the younger one. Once you're gone, it's Luka's team.
Right, and he's a great international player.
For sure.
Who's bring in international money.
And he's skinny now.
Yeah, still can't play no defense.
That's fine though. He'll be in better shape.
Yeah, to get blown by.
That's fine though. He'll be in much better shape.
Yeah, we'll see.
Much better shape. I don't got to worry about him pulling his freaking groin no more.
We'll see.
For sure. But bringing it back to Dame, I think there's benefits on both sides. I would love him on my Celtics, especially with him and JT rehabbing. They're already close friends. So him and JT rehabbing a year and then coming back next year to grow their chemistry would be phenomenal to watch, no doubt. But like I said, if the reports are true about him wanting to rehab closer to his kids in Portland, take the year off, bro. Damian Lillard is somebody who has been very vocal on life outside of basketball, and his kids are extremely important to him. So I don't fault that one bit. Being a father, being a father, I'm sure you don't fault that one bit. Go be with your kids.
No, not at all.
For sure. With what you miss in the year, go be with your kids, man. Take the year off, survey the landscape for the next year. Somebody will probably need the same teams that need you this year will probably need you next year, if we're being honest.
Makes you wonder if he's going to stay on the West Coast stuff.
Hey, I say to you like this: what if Denver kind of crashes out and trades Jamal Murray? You think you want to go to Denver?
If he want to win a championship,
right? He won't go to Denver this year.
But you know, spotting up with Jokic.
That's what I mean. Him and Denver would be awesome. So waiting a year isn't the worst thing in the world. The shot ain't going nowhere with the Achilles. No. The shot's not. We saw that with Kevin Durant. The shot ain't going nowhere. So that'll be there. And him and Joke would be beautiful to watch as far as basketball. So waiting a year isn't the worst thing in the world, but I would love to see him on my Celtics. No doubt. I would certainly love to see him on my Celtics. Moving on to Texas, Dallas to be exact. We finally head to Dallas where they have a new state flag. I just wanted to use that joke again.
2G.
2Gs, yes. Flag with 2Gs, yes. And thank whoever it is you pray to, Nico Collins. Whoever.
Job.
Lord have mercy. That's a
good job. Boy, that made you relevant.
Cooper Flagg is officially a Dallas Maverick after dominating his season at Duke. Although it isn't his fault, Coop will have some big shoes to fill by replacing Luka, who was just as important to Dallas off the court as he was on the court, leading him to a finals appearance. Coop does have some help with Anthony Davis and soon to be Kyrie, Hall of Fame worthy talent. And so the weight doesn't necessarily fall directly on his shoulders just yet, but he is a number one pick. So what are some realistic expectations for Cooper Flagg this season, Dad?
Numbers?
Let's go. Let's do both. Let's do Cooper Flagg numbers and Mavs expectations.
15, 6, and 6.
Starting off rip.
15, 6, and 6.
At the 3, 4?
3.
6'10"?
3. He can handle the ball.
He can handle the ball. That's fair. He can handle the ball. Yeah. He'd be a nightmare for 4s, though.
Yeah, he would, but AD's the 4. They'll start Gafford or
good point. They'll probably start
AD
Gafford.
AD been wanting to be a 4 since he grew up. So
yeah, no, that's valid.
Yeah.
So, okay, all right.
So Flag will be the 3.
You said 15, 6, and
6.
15, 6, and 6?
15, 6, and 6, yeah.
Huh? All right.
That's what I'm going with.
And realistic expectations for the Mavs?
Because they're in the same division as Houston, OKC.
Correct.
And who's the other one? Houston, OKC, and San Antonio?
San Antonio, Golden State. Oh, wait, you mean like division?
Division.
Yes. Houston, San Antonio,
OKC, and Dallas.
And is it 4 or 5 teams? It's 5 teams, ain't it?
Yes.
Who's the 5th?
Who is the 5th?
I'm gonna find it real quick. Give me 30 seconds. Okay, here we go. It's Dallas, Houston, Memphis, New Orleans, and San Antonio.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
OKC's not in
not
that 30?
OKC. OKC is with Minnesota, Denver, Portland, and Utah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
So
Dallas, Houston, Memphis, New Orleans, San Antonio. All the Texas teams, Memphis and New Orleans.
okay. Realistic for Dallas, second in their
In
division
their
behind
division,
behind Houston.
that's fair. Behind Houston,
Yeah,
that's fair.
behind Houston. Yeah, I think they got a good team.
You got a lot of faith in Houston this year.
Well, I hate to say this because it contradicts everything I believe in, but that was a good pickup to get D'Angelo Russell to plug into. Don't stare at me like that. To plug into until Kyrie comes back. You still got Clay as your number two. I mean, you're still deep on the bench. The only thing you lost this year, I think, was Spencer Dinwiddie.
That's
Um,
fine.
that's
You got
fine. But
D'Lo. They the
yeah,
same
that's
player.
fine. Once Kyrie comes back, D'Lo goes to the bench. Then you got to start line up with AD, Gafford, Flag, and Klay Thompson. That's a nice. You got veterans, and you got a rookie with some energy, and you got a center that can defend. It's a nice look. It's a really nice
That
look.
is a good team. So
Yes, yes.
what? Fourth
Two.
in the
So
conference?
if it was in
Top four?
playoffs, I think they're five or four. Yeah. Depending
Top
on
five?
how it depends on how D'Lo holds it down until Kyrie comes back.
That is the kicker. Now, to be fair, they don't have to rely on him as much because you do have Anthony Davis and Cooper
Right,
Flag.
right.
But D'Angelo Russell did also play on a team with Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
And
So
plus you got Clay, who's a sniper
that's
when
true. You
he
do have a
yeah.
Clay.
Yeah, so I mean, don't disrespect Mr. Thompson. He is a beast,
I
but
don't. You
yeah.
do.
No, not really. I just think Golden State could have just he should have just stayed in Golden State.
That's not what you were saying when it was time for him to go. I
Because he
didn't
was
forget.
trash. I mean, it was trash back then. Yeah. It
And
was
I
coming
said he should have stayed. I've been on that wave.
Yeah, you did say that. My bad. After I have old man memory sometimes. Uh, I contradict myself. But no, seriously, I do like Dallas's future. I do think Dallas has a better chance to win a championship. I would say before the Lakers, but the Lakers are in a pretty good position next year because Braun comes off the books. Luca may or may not sign his extension. Um,
DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton is only 1-1.
Trash.
Yeah, 1-1. He's still 1-1 though, and I think it's a team option. I don't think it's a player option. I think it's a team option for
Oh,
the
great
season.
move.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I'm not sure. Um, so again, this is an experiment for them, almost like the last ride for LeBron.
True.
Um, it is. It is. This is his last ride as a Laker. So I do like the Mavericks' chances of winning a championship before the Lakers, that's what it's all about. That validates Nico Harris.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
That
It is
validates.
truly about winning one now with Coop before Luca wins one. If you're Nico Harris,
If you're Nico Harris, right?
no doubt,
That's the ultimate. I told you so. I told you
no
so.
doubt. Yep, no
Told you
doubt.
so.
That is
Told
definitely
you so.
the
Told
definite.
you
I
so.
told you so. Even
I
though
mean,
Silver handed them that number one pick,
so if you and
standing on it.
I'm really going to give Nico his flowers on this one. You're talking about somebody who
He had
was
balls. I give him that.
not even that. I mean, he had one foot in the grave and another on a banana peel. And this dude not only traded Luka Doncic for Cooper Flag, because that's what it came down to.
Essentially, yes.
Essentially, right. You didn't know he was going to get the number one pick, but you did. So you got Luka Doncic for Cooper Flag. Okay. You saved gobs of money on
Gobs.
that. I'm talking gobs. It kicked
Yeah,
you right out of the second apron.
for
Then you turn
sure.
around and you extend Kyrie Irving on a team-friendly deal.
On a what was it? 3 for 100?
100, yeah, 100 or 110, something like
It's
that,
like
right?
it's like 30
Yeah,
something,
something
like
like that. Yeah,
35 a year.
yeah. It was way less than his market value.
100%.
Dude, that shit was like, and so the only thing you have to do now is re-sign Anthony Davis or not re-sign Anthony Davis.
Which is fine because you have Coop on a
You are
rookie
sitting
contract.
in the driver's seat on flexibility right now. If you're the Dallas Mavericks, you are sitting on flex. I mean, even if
Yeah,
they don't win, you keep promoting Cooper Flag, promoting Cooper Flag. Everybody wants to see him succeed. He'll probably wind up being one of the better Duke players because y'all suck when y'all get drafted. Let's be real. Good
Nah,
college, good college players. Name a good Duke player. Kyrie Irving. That's
Kyrie
it.
Irving,
But he only played like a half of. He played what 2 games for Duke. So I don't even count him as
Kyrie
going.
Irving,
I don't even count
Jason
him as going to
Tatum,
college. Who?
Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram, the ghost.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram's nice.
He's a ghost.
I say he's good. You act like he's trash. He's not
All
trash.
right, well let's look at the failures.
Zion Williamson, if he could just
Keep
stay
going,
fucking healthy.
and that kid in Toronto,
RJ
RJ
Barrett,
Barrett,
RJ Barrett.
Dawkins.
I can't say Cam Reddish.
Oh, Cam Reddish, I forgot about him.
Shout out Cam. Damn, you want to talk about real quick? We could do a segment on fucking players. I thought we're going to be the dude.
Shit,
Oh
yeah,
my! I
but they're
thought
not.
Cam Reddish
Johnny
was
Dawkins,
it.
Johnny Dawkins, trash,
man,
trash. Grant Hill hurt a lot,
hurt a lot.
hurt a lot. Yep.
Greg Oden hurt a lot. Oh man,
Right.
I thought
Now,
Cam Reddish was gonna be it though.
I will say Carlos Boozer was a surprise. He had a pretty good season, pretty good career.
He's a Duke player.
He was a Duke player.
So I mean, I would say Duke's one and dones were good.
Like who?
The
Kyrie?
ones I just named: Kyrie, Zion,
Again.
RJ,
Kyrie played 2
Jason
games.
Tatum,
Jason Tatum was a surprise. I will say that. Nobody had him.
and then Bi Brandon Ingram, All Star, B tier, B level star.
Okay.
Definitely B level star. Come on.
Okay.
No, so their one and dones are fine. Starting from Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. They're 2 and ups and 3 and ups.
Yeah. What they're back when they're Christian Leitners and they're
who had a terrible
Shane Battier's and their
who did pretty good as a defensive player. He found his niche with Miami.
He had the role players. They just role players.
Yeah. Role players, yeah.
And shout out Grant Hill because he got hurt, so we never really see him.
But he's a hell of an announcer.
He is. He's a lot of fun, no doubt.
Yeah.
Realistic Cooper flag expectation. You said 15, 6, and 6.
15, 6, and 6.
I'm gonna take it a step up and go 18 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 18, 6, and 18, 8, and 5.
Does he win Rookie of the Year?
No doubt. It's his to lose. The only person who has a chance to beat him. No, and I won't even say Dylan Harper because he got to fight too many point guards for minutes.
You know who can beat him?
Who?
BJ Edgecombe.
True, but it's still Coops to lose.
It's still his to lose.
It's Coops to lose. He puts up 18,
hey, don't
8,
count out
18,
don't
8, and
count
5.
out AJ Bailey. Don't count out AJ Bailey either. He's going to get minutes.
He's definitely going to get minutes
in Utah.
For sure.
Minutes in Utah.
People, I don't. Okay, let me rephrase that. He's got some competition, but it is his to lose.
This is to lose just based on popularity.
It's based on right. If he puts up 18, 8, and 6, he gonna win a rookie.
Yeah. Unless somebody
as long as he don't fall flat on his face.
Yeah.
I think he can make some reasonable strides. Does he have a 30-point game this season?
Yes.
Yes.
Agreed. I will say that.
Does he have a 40-point game this season?
No.
Agreed. Does he have a triple-double this season?
Yes.
Agreed. I'm only throwing these out because these are the little landmarks that we as viewers we subconsciously do. You know what I mean? We start to see a 30-point game. We're like, oh, here he comes.
Here we go. Right.
Here he comes. We see a triple 20-point or 20, 15, 10, or 25, 15, and 10. We're like, shit. Yep, that's him.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say he's going to have a triple-double. He'll have a 30-point game. But so will Bailey.
Where did VJ Edgecombe go? I know he went 3rd. Where did he get drafted to? Philly. Okay, Philly. Okay.
He went to Philadelphia, yeah. But he'll be coming off the bench.
Yeah, I don't see. VJ Edgecombe's not going to win Rookie of the Year. He got too many bodies to go through.
Way too many. Too many.
Maybe Ace Bailey though, because he's going to get the minutes.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of minutes in Utah
for sure. He is the option.
Okay.
Him and Walter Walter Clayton, I think is his name.
On Peyton
Yeah,
Jr.
from Florida.
Yeah.
They are they're definitely the scoring option, especially since they got rid of what's that point guard's
Sexton.
name? Thank you,
Sexton.
Colin Sexton.
Yeah.
So they'll be the scoring options, but it's Coops to lose, no doubt. I think he'll have. If I had to put some numbers to it, I'm gonna stamp this. All right, I think Cooper Flagg in his 18, 8, and 5 or 6 assist season will have at least 2 30-point games.
Whoa.
At least 2, and at least 3 triple doubles.
3?
3.
It's a long season. It's possible.
Yeah, it's the game we play.
It's definitely possible.
If the 30-point game is going to base on whether or not his shot is falling that day,
right?
Because his 3-point shot is
if they feed him the ball.
Yeah, if it's falling, they're gonna feed him because he's the second option.
The 30 points, I will say, is realistic because Kyrie's not there right now.
Right. He's the second scoring option behind AD.
Yeah,
it ain't D'Lo.
No, it ain't D'Lo. And Clay's just a spot up.
And Clay's just a spot up. And that's where the assist comes in. You got 2 spot up shooters, D'Lo and Clay. Yeah. So I can see 2 to 3 30-point games this season. And 2 to, I'm gonna say 3 to 5 triple doubles, with one of those being a smooth 25, 12 to 15 rebounds, 10 assists.
Whoa, okay.
For sure. He's got that kind of motor.
All right.
My expectations has turned on Cooper Flagg, because when I first saw him, I'm like, I don't see the hype. I don't see the hype for sure. But when I seen him in Duke, carry Duke and be the best player in college basketball as a high school senior, he's got it.
Yeah, I will say he's pretty good, though. I mean, I saw him down here in the Final Four. He is nice, though.
He's got it for sure.
Nice.
I like his motor.
And of course, college is zone. The NBA is man to man.
And there's so much more space in the NBA.
Yeah. So his game will elevate a lot. I mean, again, if you can average 20 points in college, you can average 25 in
Right. Exactly. He's the best player in college basketball at 17 as a high school senior. He is supposed to be a freshman in college right now.
Yeah.
Age-wise, he's supposed to be a senior in high school. You know what I mean?
He was on the Olympic.
He's on the Olympic team. Like, that's crazy. And he's like that. So
he's from Maine.
He's from fucking Maine, of all places.
Damn, Maine.
Maine of all places. Shout out Maine, because he
maple syrup and snow.
Grew up a Boston Celtics fan, because that's the closest team.
That's the only team out there. Shit, you know.
Just to put it in perspective. That's like the closest NBA team.
Yeah, like he had a choice. Shit.
That's wild. So shout out Coop. I think he's gonna. I think he was drafted into a very beneficial situation. He doesn't have to carry the team.
He's not the guy
there. And then when Kyrie comes back, he'll be working his way back. But you got Kyrie. Yeah. So you never have to carry the scoring load. Or you never have to just carry it on your shoulders if you're Cooper Flagg. So
you can be able to work without it being amplified.
Amplified, no doubt. Right. So I got hopes for Cooper Flagg. I think he was drafted into a very good situation. Dallas is the perfect place for him to flourish.
It is,
no doubt. And I'm rooting for you, dog. No doubt. I'm a Cooper Flagg guy. I got to get a jersey.
So you're a Duke Flagg, man. You love Duke.
I was not a Cooper Flagg fan when he signed to Duke. I'm telling you, I was not a fan of him in high school. And then when he signed to Duke, I was like, I guess. But because he went to Duke is why I watched him a lot.
Okay.
And so I started watching. I'm like, okay, all right. I can see the hype. He's good. He's definitely got it. But realistic expectations, I'm going to give him 18, 6 and 5, or 18, 8 and 5, or 6 assists, 2 to 3 30-point games, 3 to 5 triple doubles. And the Mavs will be in the second round of the playoffs, but it depends on how the bracket falls.
There you go.
Yeah, depends on how the bracket falls. I would
agree. Yeah, they'll be second round.
Second round for sure. Minimum second round. Depends on how the bracket falls from there.
Be nice if they played the Lakers in the second round. That'd be
fun.
Box office. Yeah.
That shit would be fun. Yeah, no doubt for sure.
That's
it. The NBA is rooting for that one.
Mm-mm-mm.
I can't wait to do that subject like later down the line. Dream playoff scenarios. Because that was fun when we did that this year.
It was. It
That was
was.
definitely fun. We kicked up some good ones. I got a side question for you real quick. I got
Shoot.
two side questions for you real quick.
Shoot.
Knicks fan, Mike Brown. Give me your thoughts.
Good signing.
Really?
Yes. I did not like it at first. Then I dug into it. Mike Brown has won Coach of the Year twice.
Fair.
Brown turned
Once
around
with Cleveland, once with
and once with
Or
the
Sack.
sack. Yeah, and he got fired by sack, even though he was the fucking Coach of the Year.
He did.
He does know how to work with stars. I will
Very
say that.
true.
Yeah, so I will give him his flowers. And like on a side, this is the first black coach we've ever had. No, we had Lenny Wilkins,
And Isaiah Thomas.
and I was he's not really coach.
He was the coach though.
Yeah, yeah.
I know he was the GM too, but he was the coach.
Yeah, he also fooled around with his secretary, so we can't count that. It
Yeah.
cost us a lot of money. So
I didn't
yeah,
say he was a good one, but he
yeah,
was black.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I like that signing. For what was out there, I do like that.
Agreed.
I didn't like the guy from Memphis that got fired,
Oh,
Taylor.
Borrego or something.
No, what's the guy? What's his
The
coach
assistant
from?
they trying to take from.
No, the head coach that got fired from.
Oh, Taylor Jenkins.
Yeah, I didn't like that, and I didn't like Mike Malone. I did at first. I thought it would help him,
Nah,
but
but you can't go from Tibbs to Mike
you
Malone.
can't go from Tism. It's a unilateral move.
Yeah, it's the
So
same thing.
yeah, so I do like that. I think Mike Brown is going to bring in some fresh voices, a different scheme. I think
Mhm.
he'll I don't think he'll be guard heavy dependent like Tibbs was.
He's not going to be starting five reliant either,
That's another thing, right? So yeah, I do like that. I see Josh Hart going to the bench on the
where he
second
needs to
unit
be.
where he needs to be. I see Mitch Robinson starting. I like that to get Cat off of the five.
Yes, put him
Um,
at the four where he needs to
yeah,
be.
yeah, OG and Mikael Bridges and Jalen Brunson. That's a nice starting five.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm all right. You've kind of sold me a little bit. My biggest issue with the Mike Brown thing is like I joked with you before. I don't ever fear y'all being down 20 anymore. That's
No,
for sure.
no.
What's the identity? With Tibbs, it was grit and grind,
Defense.
no matter
It was
what.
it was supposed to be defense, but shit,
Well, even
we couldn't
still,
stop
like
anybody.
true, but even still, it may not. We thought it would have been defense, but it ended up being just relentless pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like no matter what the score was, Tibbs is going. That Knicks team was going to fight
I
as long
didn't.
as they were playing for Tibbs.
I thought him getting fired was wrong, but when I thought about it, yeah.
You know what the
I mean,
problem was? They fired him sort of with a plan, but they didn't secure that plan.
yeah, they wanted Jason Kidd.
They wanted Jason Kidd or the dude from Villanova, and
Yeah,
they didn't secure those before they fired him.
right. But I do think he deserved to be fired.
You think so? About
Yeah,
time you came into my side of the fence.
and I'm gonna tell you why.
About time.
I'm gonna tell you why. They should have got swept by the Celtics. Celtics beat themselves. Let's just
Yes,
keep
we
it real.
did.
Yeah, y'all did. Y'all had two games that y'all was
We
leading
were
by
up
20.
20.
And here's the
And if
side.
we win one of those, we win that series.
And JT don't get hurt.
And JT don't get hurt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
So
honestly, even if we go down 3-1, I still think we got a chance to beat y'all if JT don't get hurt.
again,
Because we
y'all
won
put two
and we
3-point games, unheard of in the playoffs for a championship team,
Lord have
um,
mercy.
especially for a team that they dominated all season long. So yeah, I think that was Tibbs' fate and the fact that he couldn't get past Indiana. He didn't make the right adjustments, in my opinion. He was too ball dependent on Jalen Brunson.
Yep.
He didn't know how to run an offense with the talent that he had, and
It looked
like
a lot like Chicago.
they look a lot like Chicago. And plus, like most analysts said, by the time OG got the ball, or Mikael got the ball, or Cat got the ball, it's only like six
I
seconds
say you
left.
down to 7 seconds in the shot
Yeah,
clock.
I mean it's not enough time to run an offense. So shout out Tibbs, loved you to death. I mean you did what you did, but you pretty much sealed your own fate with
Right.
that with the
Like I was
playoff.
telling you before, I won't say he deserved because I think that's a strong word, but it was time.
It was time.
I think you got as far as you could with Tibbs.
Yeah, and it's time to move on, especially with that team. You can't do anything about the team.
Right.
Right. You
Right.
can't do
Especially
anything
with
about
that
the team.
team, for sure.
Right.
I
So let
think
me
they
ask you
got as
this
far as you
question.
could. What's up? What's up?
You're the Lakers, right? And you're
Okay.
planning for and you're planning for the future.
Okay.
You know you're not going to use LeBron next year.
Uh-uh.
Do you trade LeBron for Mikal Bridges at midseason?
At mid-season.
Yeah.
Shit, if you can do it now, do it now.
I don't think it works money wise
How much
now.
is Mikhail making?
He's extension eligible. I think he's in the 20s. 20. He's half of what LeBron is. So you'd
Because
have to put
LeBron's 52.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And does LeBron work on the Knicks with Jalen Brunson being ball dominant
For sure. With a different coach.
with a different coach? Right.
For sure. Yeah, no doubt.
Was he?
LeBron
Was
is
he?
willing to give up the ball. You saw that with Luca last year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That would be nice, man. I'm not a
And
LeBron fan. He can
honestly, I
win a
think they
championship.
fit better. Brunson and Braun fit better than Braun and Luca. Because Braun and Luca are the same player.
Right, right. And plus he'll hold Cat accountable. He'll playing with the king. OG. Yeah, yeah.
See, guys,
Now,
we're not completely unfair. We can play both sides. We're not literally play both sides, but we understand.
yeah, I'd love to see him on the Knicks. If we can
I'm
give up
saying,
OG, if we can give up OG for him, that'd be even better. We can keep Mikal Bridges.
honestly, if you could do, I probably, like you said, the money don't work, but if you could figure out how to do that ASAP, that's not a bad move.
Not a bad
That's
move,
not a
man.
bad move at all, for
No,
sure.
no,
Because
he
you got to
gets.
keep either one of those, though. You got to keep Mikhail or OG.
Yeah,
You
yeah, you
need the
can't do
defense.
both because of the money, but yeah, and we don't have no draft picks. I don't think the Lakers looking for draft picks anyway. They're looking for stars.
They don't need draft picks. You're
Fits.
not getting a
They
draft
looking
pick for
for
LeBron.
fits.
Right, right. You're not
Yeah,
getting a draft pick for LeBron, anyways, if we're being
yeah.
100% honest with you. You
Not a
want to
number
do it for a
one. Yeah,
player.
yeah, definitely not a number one.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
if it is, it's going to be from a contender, like pick number 30. You know what I mean? That's what it would be. You're not giving up a good
see
first round
now,
for LeBron James.
see if they see Golden State could have made a run for him if they could have kept Kevon Looney in the mix. They could have packaged Looney, Kaminga, and what's that kid? The Brad what's his name? Because the Lakers just looking for expiring contracts.
Oh,
Because they no
the
the little
big dude.
guy, the little kid,
Oh,
the
Pajinski,
yeah, yeah,
Pajinski.
yeah, yeah. Put a package like that together. The Lakers would have had a big. They had Kaminga, Braun on Golden State.
I will forever love that move. Bron and Steph,
Ooh,
chef's
mm,
kiss.
uh,
Bron
mm.
and Steph, and their timelines
Mm.
match up.
Yeah, yeah.
I talked all that
That would
stuff
have been
about
crazy.
Jimmy. If there's actually a way you could still do it, it would involve Jimmy though.
It
Do
would
it.
involve Jimmy. Yeah, yeah.
Do
They would have
it.
Jimmy. Yeah, LeBron, Steph, and Dre. Shit, man.
Do it.
That's like a Western, old
And you
Western
can
show.
still go get Malik Monk, and you can still go get Al Horford on a vet minimum. It'd have to be on a vet
Yeah,
minimum, but you
yeah,
can still get, bro. What?
yeah,
It.
yeah. Mm, mm.
Stop it. Golden State not done. You mark my words.
We'll see.
Golden
We'll
State
see.
not done. And my second question for you, just a little side question. You saw the WNBA expansion?
I did. I did.
How you feel about three
2025,
new
was it
teams?
27, 26, and 25?
6,
26,
7, and 8.
27. Okay. Philadelphia,
Detroit and
Detroit.
what's the other one? Cleveland,
Okay. Okay. Um, I think the sport is becoming more popular than before.
for sure.
Uh, Expansion is probably necessary. I didn't know Golden State had a
They just got one this year.
yeah, I didn't know that.
They were
I
the
don't like
first expansion team in a minute.
yeah, I don't like the name of their team. I can't pronounce it.
The
Uh,
Valkyrie.
thank you. Steph got an ownership stake in that, right?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Um,
He's part of the reason why it's there.
uh,
And they sell out Chase Center.
WNBA watched a couple of games this year. I did watch the Chicago
Understandable.
Sky. Yeah, I watched the Chicago Sky play
The Sparks.
the Sparks. Yeah.
AR
I
put up 26, 15, and
I
something.
watched it. I watched it to validate Angel Reese. So, everybody's talking about Angel Reese is this, Angel Reese is that. She can't shoot. She
How
can't
you
do this.
feel?
I like Angel
Watched.
Reese. I like Amy Reese. I thought she played a really good game because
That
they
was
were
a great game to watch. I give you
yeah, they
that.
were down. They were down by like 10 or 15, and they
Yes, they
turned around
were.
in the second half and came back and won that game. Um, and she was a huge part of it. I think she dug her own hole by going up against Caitlin Clark, by making it
In the media.
in the media, right? Let your game speak for itself. Because if she had just like blended in, nobody would have noticed how bad she could shoot. It
No
wouldn't have been a
doubt.
thing. Right. Rebounding, okay, fine, you give us 12 a game. In the WNBA, I don't really think that's that hard, to be honest with you. It's just
Not
position
when
and
you keep missing
size.
your own layups.
Thank you. Thank you. Now she's corrected that. And honestly, she's a pretty good passer.
She is.
She's better than I thought she
She's got a
was.
good handle too.
Yeah, she's got a pretty good handle for the person her size.
Right.
And I think the NBA needs her. WNBA needs her.
Agreed.
They do. They do. They need a villain. Everybody needs a villain.
Everybody needs a villain.
Do I think this is the right time to expand? No. I don't.
No.
I
There
don't.
we go.
I don't. I don't think the sport is that popular.
You know what I will say though? So they did the Golden State thing this year, right? That's the first thing, or that was the first one in a minute. And that put it uneven. So I think there's 15 teams in the league now. 8 on one side, 7 on the other. Although, which is why they're doing the 3 to even out the conferences.
Balance it out. Right.
Now, although I agree, when I first saw the news, I was kind of like, and I hate to say it because it's gonna sound like I'm hating, but help me understand. Anybody who's watching this in Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia may have a market for a WNBA team, but does Detroit and Cleveland have one? I don't know. Hell, did Cleveland have a NBA market prior to LeBron James?
No.
Did Detroit have a basketball
the
market?
Bad
You see what I
Boys.
mean? Not since the Bad Boys or
The
2004,
Bad Boys.
maybe when they won the championship. Like
I'm not against them expanding, but you know where they should have expanded at? They should have
Tennessee.
San Antonio.
I'm going Tennessee. I saw something
San
that said
Antonio
Pat
too.
Summit's group tried to get a team in the WNBA. That would have been the move. They already have a market out in Tennessee. Women's basketball is huge in Tennessee because of Pat Summitt.
San Antonio too. We have one professional team.
Tennessee ain't got none.
They got this. They do. They have the
Tennessee ain't got none.
We have one. One. That's it. And we're building a new arena, so they should have expanded to San Antonio. They could have had the Frost Center after the Spurs leave.
I'm not opposed to WNBA expansion. A, I think it's too soon. And B, I just don't know about the cities they chose. Please, anybody in the comments who is watching this that is from Philly, Cleveland, or Detroit, let me know. Tell me I'm wrong. Are you clamoring for a WNBA team?
So the only advantage that the WNBA has in those cities, Cleveland and Detroit, is that they play in the summertime.
True.
Yeah. So they're just competing against baseball in that aspect. That's it. Which again, you should have came to San Antonio because we don't even have a baseball team.
And neither does Tennessee. Okay, so we're both on the same page. Yeah. Expansion ain't the bad idea.
But
we just don't know about the places they chose.
Where they've expanded, right?
Yeah,
right.
We just don't know about the places they chose. San Antonio and Tennessee are 2 good options. And
in my opinion,
you only need to add one at a time.
That's it.
To even out the conferences.
That's it. But yeah, they should have came to San Antonio. We are loyal down here. Loyal.
I'm surprised Houston don't have one. Houston was really good back in the early 2000s when they had a WNBA team.
You know, my thing with that is instead of expanding to 3 teams and getting all that money, expansion fee money, why don't you pay these ladies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely with that.
Let's this $70,000 a year shit is lame.
What was it? Caitlin Clark, #1 draft pick.
$70,000.
$70,000 a year.
Yeah.
Super Flag is clearing her by far. And this is not a WNBA, NBA conversation.
All right. I make more than $70,000 a year, people, and I don't play basketball.
Hell, I'm itching it, and
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm
come
close.
on, people. Come on.
So for sure.
I'm not the face of the
commissioner.
Okay.
Kathy, please pay these girls.
Pay them. Take that entrance fee, put it in a pool, and pay these people.
And spread that shit out. There's no reason why
Yeah.
the Commissioner Cup is paying more than the WNBA Finals.
I know.
That is unacceptable.
Won that Indiana?
Indiana, yeah.
Indiana won it, right?
They split $500,000 between the players.
So they won the championship cup in WNBA and the play-in for the NBA.
Did Indiana win the in-season tournament this year?
I think they did.
Oh shit!
And they went to the championship.
And they went to the championship. Omen, Indiana Fever to the championship.
Interesting.
Not if Caitlin Clark could turn into a damn baller the way she does. Lord have mercy.
Interesting.
But
on that note,
that's all the extra questions I have for you. I was just curious about your thoughts on those things, and I didn't want to do a full segment on those.
All right.
But that will be the end of our show today. Thank you for joining us on Agree to Disagree. Like, comment, subscribe, share, so forth, so on. Y'all know the deal. What are you doing here? Shorts coming in. I got a hell of a lot more time now. Shorts on the way.
Love the shorts.
Definitely. So any other let us know how y'all feel about WNBA expansion. We agree. We just think they should have chose different cities. Mike Brown, dad loves it. I'm lukewarm on it. I just don't know the identity. But you should love it. You're a fan, as you should.
I'm a fan. Yeah.
And then let us know how y'all feel about the NBA offseason free agencies. Should Dame pick up on a contender this year or wait a year to survey the landscape? And some realistic expectations for Cooper Flagg. Keyword, realistic. I need to be throwing these people under the bus. These poor kids, man. He 18 years old, got the weight of the world on their fucking shoulders. Lord have mercy.
Hey, that's how it is in sports.
Realistic.
That's
18,
how it is in sports, baby.
18, 8-6, I think is realistic.
All right, we'll see. 15, 6, and 6.
But again, thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate the love and support, continued support. We do get views. So thank y'all.
That's right.
That's right. We do get views. So thank y'all very much. Anything you need to add, Dad?
No, I'm good.
Tune into the next episode, motherfuckers. Later.
Love you.
Love y'all. Love you, Dad.